All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Show Me Your News, the pinnacle for delivering and debating the gaming news that matters the most to you.
Rumor-filled gossip, hardware blunders, or upcoming releases.
If it relates to video games, we want to talk about it.
I am Yoko, and I am excited for our 6th anniversary.
I am Super, and I have a lot of driving ahead of me.
I'm Tony, and you're very much one to talk.
I just drove to there and back.
That's true, but he's got a 6-hour trip?
7.
7? Wow, up to Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we are part of the Show Me Your News network at showmeyournews.com. Our top stories today for episode 138. Not 38. What am I talking about? 138 of the podcast.
Into the past.
On Sunday, July 7th, 2013. Our first story, Smash. You know, it's kind of been about a month-ish since we last talked about non-E3 things, and we can start talking about Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and for 3DS. I know, not the sexiest titles, but there are Miiverse pictures, so we can talk about those. Don Matrick, former head of Xbox, has changed jobs. Is he leaving the Hindenburg for the Titanic? Also, our favorite Let's Players on YouTube, the Game Grumps, have decided to change gears, and Tony's sad about it. Really sad.
I'm better now. I wish we
okay.
did this a few weeks ago.
No,
when I
you
was
don't. You would have
horribly-
been so sad.
I would want it like. I want it framed.
Would've been real.
I would've-
Want it
Yeah,
raw.
it would have been funny to have it like,
We wanted to do it live.
We'll see if we can recapture that a little bit. Our hilarity of the week involves a video game player who is now in jail for something he said on Facebook. It might be as ridiculous as it sounds. Got a story pool out recently, Soapbox, and then we got a thought about our 6th anniversary, which technically is tomorrow. Tomorrow is 6 years since the first episode of Show Me Your News, talking about the latest regarding Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And, you know, we still continue to this day. But Super and Tony, you guys are coming out for next weekend. I think on Thursday the 11th you get out here. We're going to have our all-day stream on that Saturday. And we'll talk about, you know, things we can do for that Saturday. Of course, we'll have other shenanigans throughout the weekend. Maybe we'll stream some of them. Maybe not. No, it's going to be a fun show. Let's get right into it, though.
The idea was more bro time, but we're going to play games anyway. So.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're playing games, why not stream our bro time? Anyway, let's get right into it with Smash. Smash 4 is now Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Wii U and Nintendo 3DS.
I wish it was at least the number 4.
Yeah.
Or the 4, you know?
Mix it into the title somehow. I think they miss an opportunity with Universe. I think the Smash U or Smash 3DS, whatever the community will determine the shorthand of it, just like, Brawl, Melee, Smash 64. Like, there were easy shorthand methods to calling this game, and now it's great that we have 2 games, but to say Super Smash Bros. For Wii U or Super Smash Bros. For 3DS.
We're probably just going to call it 4.
Yeah, and just kind of combine the 2 there. We did talk about on our website at showmeyournews.com that we did want to get back into Smash stuff, and we were racking our brains about how do we do this? Do we include more episodes of Show Me Your News, like some that include Smash exclusive? Do we do a new Smash podcast that loses the Show Me Your News moniker that's so identifiable with what we did with our history at Smashboards? I think we're at a weird
we don't
place.
have to do that.
Yeah, we're at a weird place that even though we talked about doing this, if Sakurai, Sakurai did talk a lot at E3, which was surprising.
Yeah.
And he was, saying some interesting things there, but the most
I've
curious
still been
thing.
reading interviews with him every so often.
Yeah. I think the most curious thing, though, is that he said he wouldn't talk as much about the game. And I think despite all of the things that the dojo did for that Smash community, that was before a time of Twitter and social media. And could you imagine that now? I think what some people...
It's so fun.
It is so fun. I think what some people think might be an issue is that if they did do a dojo like that, it would build up the game so much like it did with Brawl. And, Sakurai's gone on record and said that for Brawl, he took a very different approach with a Wii broad audience in mind, making the game more casual, as if, we couldn't already tell that. But then Melee was more of a hardcore, and he's trying to blend the two. I think that's the right approach in general, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Kinda.
Says the competitive Smash player hesitantly.
Yeah. I just see it's like everyone kind of loves Melee, even casuals. So what's the point in, dicking the competitive scenes?
Right.
Like I can.
Well, he's not
I can
dicking
see-
it, but
Well, he totally dicked it in Brawl.
oh, he totally dicked it in Brawl.
Yeah. So I'm hesitant to say that that's a good idea, because going back for the Melee roots would be, I don't want Melee 2.0. We're kind of working on that already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got that.
Speaking
So
of
I'm
which,
kinda
yeah, we
happy.
gotta throw out there Project M. Before the end of July, we get update 2.6. That's awesome.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Sonic Nerf patch.
Is it?
A lot of people are saying, just kind of throwing that out there
Huh.
because apparently Sonic 2 broke. No, but I think this is a good strategy, because I guess if you're really super competitive, you got Project M.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
this is a good kind of. I just don't want to see casual hinder the competitive.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. But
He did
what-
say no tripping.
Yeah, he did say no tripping, and I think the Smash world rejoiced.
Yeah.
I know we all did. But what he's doing now, which is very different, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Show Me Your News as a result, was very focused on the dojo and what the dojo updates were about, what they revealed. They were screenshots combined with words that we could pick out and look at and see things like up until now. We had videos that were released time and again. We had things like they were talking about the online system of the game or the music tracks that would be in the game. These were things to talk about. And now it's totally understandable that Masahiro Sakurai takes to Miiverse to discuss the game. However, there's only so much that can be done with a screenshot that more often than not seems to be in jest and a little goofy caption. It's not the same. We can't really make a podcast that discusses these things in depth until he changes his style. So for now, we can certainly put it at the top of our show here at Show Me Your News to discuss some of the more interesting, to talk about some of the more interesting screenshots, but it doesn't sustain a whole show.
No.
I think it sustains a headline.
There you go, and that's where it is here. So let's
We're
get
bummed out about it.
No, and it's true. So as much as we would like to talk Smash, and obviously we will be talking Smash, what comes out, but we're not getting that information drip. We're getting something to kind of sate our interest, so he doesn't go completely off the grid. But we're not really getting that. Oh, here is a new character every couple weeks, and we're going to talk about so-and-so's special moves and break every single one down with screenshots per day.
I feel like
it's just not the same.
I feel like the more interviews I read, it's so early in development that I don't think he could iron out special moves and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's got special moves for some characters. People have broken down Mega Man.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
he had
still
it.
something to say. Mega Man is in Smash. That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard. I think there will be some bigger updates, just sporadically, because what gets me is the Wii Fit trainer. It's got like update
Right.
in the corner. I feel like that's probably gonna happen more, but just randomly and not as focused. But the more I've talked to people, the more I've kind of come to the conclusion too that nothing's gonna hype me more than that Mega Man trailer. Like Mega Man being in it, like that's the big it'd be damn hard to top that.
I do like how Sakurai said that he wants to have each character revealed with a cinematic like that, but budget may not allow for that. And I think that's fair to say, to kind of give that.
Why isn't Nintendo
If-
throwing all their Wii dollars into this?
You'd think, right? It's going to be
This is the one
big
that
system
sells
seller.
consoles.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, you guys just want to run by through the last 2 weeks of picks? It's
Yeah, I
like
think so.
10.
Talk about the more interesting ones here. This is, I think for now, this is what Show Me Your News' involvement with Smash will be. I mean, we don't have time. I've seen people, make new video channels and, break things down day by day. I simply, it's been 6 years, guys. Holy cow. We've gotten older. We have less time to commit to it, but we still obviously love to talk about it, and we'll include it on this show that is rooted in Smash history, let's just say.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say start around June 24th. I think that's a good 2 week part. We get the Animal Crosser doing what looks to be his dash attack.
No, he's
Interestingly
tripping.
enough, he's tripping balls. From what I can understand from this is just that I'm looking at it, I'm like, this reminds me of a lot of Day-to-Day's dash attack and Brawl.
Yeah?
It's slow. It won't do. It's slow, but if it hits, it'll hit hard.
Well, it looks like an extended hitbox past him with the tree.
Yep.
So that'll help, because Day-to-Day and
Day-to-Day, if you just got
Villager.
hit by it.
well, they're just not the same size. So I mean, trying to
Right.
kind of have comparable.
That's why he's dropping a little.
This is going to be a sweet spot dash attack, which is actually kind of nice because there's not a whole lot of characters that have sweet spot dash attacks.
Yeah. And so I do like, not that we couldn't tell or whatever, but in each of the corners we do have the Wii U or the 3DS corner. So this does, confirm a Smashville stage for Wii U, and it's nice to see, certain Animal Crossing characters if you've been playing New Leaf. So,
You know what gets me about that stage confirmation?
Yeah.
How the handhelds are gonna have only handheld,
I love that.
stages.
It's a great
I
idea.
love that too, but I'm really curious about Pokemon in that case.
Yeah,
Sure.
I guess we'll just see the stadiums. We'll see Coliseum or Battle Revolution kind of stages.
Yeah.
Coliseum would be cool. I like that.
Yeah. Although I'll be honest, the Project M Stadium 2 is so much better than what they came up with.
That's true.
It's kind of and that's just a frozen stage. It's just you had a great stage here, then you just mucked it all up.
Mm.
Tony, what about Wrastlin' Fox on June 18th?
That was a lot of fun. He's kind of doing a frog splash, and they made it seem like he was going off the top rope.
He's in his free fall from the Firefox. Is up B probably?
Firefox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually what it's called.
Foxfire? I don't know.
Yeah, June
No,
18th.
no, I just forgot that was the name.
Yeah, he's in his Google Chrome, his
Yeah.
Internet Explorer, and Opera and Safari.
Honest to God, dude, whenever I do moves like that and they have a verbalized noise for it, I just kind of say I do that. I
I
just
do
did
the Enya.
Yeah.
He's, "Ah!"
Yeah,
At least with Falcon, I do that. I did the yes. I just call the up B yes.
Well, for Kirby, the ya-a.
Yeah, yeah.
Ya-a.
Yeah.
I don't understand this pit, from June 19th. It might be something from Uprising?
We'll link the
perhaps?
thread, by the way, because I
Yeah.
feel like we have to, because otherwise you don't know what we're talking
Well,
about.
It's his what was that here called? Rolling Upper or something?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's from Uprising. Yeah, definitely check the links here in the show notes. We do link all of our stories for you to follow along if you choose to. But yeah, he's got this salmon-colored spherical
thing.
item. Huh.
I thought it was a
I
yo-yo.
called it something, I just forgot.
Now he did talk in the developer direct about a couple new pit moves, so that's one of them, I believe. And then let's see, Spirit Tracks for Link. That's a pretty cool one.
Is that deconfirmed to Link?
We were saying that during the reveal. I think it was one of your
Yeah.
reactions. Two Links in the stage. It means two Link deconfirmed. I don't think it does.
I think it'd be really fun. I mean, the one thing that no one can say is maybe he's just taunting and that's one of his suits, and it's he doesn't have a black outline.
That's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
I
So
think
he
that
does-
totally deconfirms them because they're talking about cutting characters.
Yep.
and we don't need two links.
Yeah. I just want to make mention of the June 25th pick with Link doing his sword.
Yes.
I don't know why this kind of mildly excites me, or it doesn't excite me at all. It actually it's just a curious little thing. If you look in the background, you can see a beam of light coming up, and it's like that's actually a fair bit through the game, not all the way through the game,
Right.
but it's like I like how they chose the stage when it had kind of the most going on.
Right. The most development. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you got to think, did they take that idea from Project M?
Well,
I
that's
know.
what,
I don't know.
I don't know if they did, but our stage looks good too.
I will say I do like the concept that Sakurai did talk about of how he wants the attacks to be more cutting, so they have a more defined slice to them.
Yeah, I do
think
too.
that's really going to be helpful, and you can kind of see this here on June 25th.
That's a Skyward Strike, isn't it?
No,
It looks
that's
more like
up
the spin attack. Yeah,
Well,
just in the air.
Right, but you
no,
can
that
kinda-
might not be. That might not be the spin attack. It could be his forward air.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I,
But, yeah,
I
it
would say
gets-
it's his forward air.
It gets that cutting sense, which is also it's just really nice.
I like Kirby and the Yellow Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, Mario
Is he
practicing.
stuck?
On June
Just
26th,
chilling.
I was seeing a lot of Miiverse comments. This is the picture on Animal Crossing Smashville with Lloyd there, the gyroid.
I hate those things.
I know
They're
a lot
all
of
I dig up.
right, but I saw a lot of people on Miiverse making references to Cactuar from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm like, not the same. Nintendo
No.
fan, come on, gotta learn this stuff here.
Oh, I see it.
I can see
Yeah.
it too, but it's
No,
Animal
it's
Crossing.
kind of
Like,
stupid how similar it is.
mm-hmm. No, you're right. Kirby and the Yellow Devil is going. I hope it's an assist trophy. Like I really
Maybe
do.
it's just part of the stage.
I hope not. It looks like a really cool stage, and to have a stage hazard like that,
It might not be
would
a hazard. It just might.
What else would it be then? Just something in the
obvious-
background?
No,
Yeah.
because Kirby is obviously, behind it.
He's interacting with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's interacting. The thing is, like, I'm looking at it, and at one point I was gonna say, oh, he's just kind of inside of his model. But I'm looking at this and going, I'm not entirely sure if the Yellow Devil's supposed to be rounded or, because if you look at the
Oh yeah. It's got
model,
a little.
it
bend.
gets flat where Kirby is.
Hmm.
So is that to say that Kirby's been inhaled by it in a sense, in an ironic sense?
Yellow Devil
Or
really
he's
kinda
controlling
did
it like
stuff
a
like
mech. Poof, poof, poof.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be
Kirby
cool.
is deconfirmed. He's actually just riding the Yellow Devil. He's the Kirby
Smash
and Yellow
4
Devil.
hype go.
No,
Very interesting.
but considering what the Yellow Devil is, he's either been stuck inside of it because it's not Kirby's model overlapping with the Yellow Devil. Because if you look at the shading, it does not fit like two models are interacting. It looks like the shading is going around Kirby. So, from what I can understand, yes, this is going to be some sort of stage hazard or hopefully assist trophy. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this is stage hazard.
Right. And you gotta love the Animal Crosser villager. It's weird. Like during the brawl hype, everyone was like, "Animal Crosser." That's like his name of who should be. And now it's just like villager.
Villager.
That's it. I gotta get used to that transition there.
How's that announcer gonna get hyped when you put the coin on it?
Villager. We Fit Trainer.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be weird.
Mega Man. Anyway, Villager's expression, obviously the internet has gone crazy with it to wonderful degrees. But that
You see the
expression...
one where he's picking a plant, and for a split second, it's Mario's head
Yeah.
on his body.
It's pretty great. There are a lot of fantastic ones out there. Some of the Shining spoofs.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff. I think one of the more interesting ones is if we look on July 4th. And this is kind of when, Sakurai does a couple days before, but starts giving more than just saying pick of the day.
Well, he's been saying it for the last 3 days prior to that.
Right, but this is where we actually get details and saying that this 3DS stage, which, do we have any guesses what it might be?
Oh, that's a Fire Emblem Awakening stage.
Okay.
That's Arena Faro.
Oh, nice.
Or Ferrex.
Yeah.
Ferrex, yes.
Very cool. And that, kind of goes back
I
to the
got
whole...
one freaking piece left in that puzzle
Oh, yeah?
on 3DS. Like, I got all the pink ones even, and there's just one on the side taunting me.
Oh, now... Oh, okay. I almost thought, like, this would eventually be a puzzle swap
No.
for Smash. I get you. Okay. Well, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when you get to, confirm stages like that. Because there were certain aspects of the trailer, when Mario was, like, jumping through, like, the jungle stage, which is the Donkey Kong something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that was a stage, like, there was so much vertical space to it. And you almost wonder, like, is that part of, like, bringing back adventure mode? Or something
That's
like
what I
that from
think it
Melee?
is.
That would be pretty cool. But in things like that, like, you can't really confirm that as a playable stage. But then you see something like this, and like that's pretty cool to see. The latest one currently, because he's doing this, trying to do it 5 days a week on the weekdays. Speaking of dog barking, how convenient! It's Rush, Mega Man's dog, and Mario's kind of standing by it and petting it. Like the poses and stuff.
Does Rush bark?
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah, the robot.
Ruff, ruff, mega.
How would you program that?
Mega Man. The posing and stuff, it's cute, I guess. Just like the Fox, wrestling move and all that. Or then you get this one that was really early on, where it's just like Wii Fit Trainer. Oh yeah, those are boobs on July 13th. That was like one of the first ones he posted. And it's like, oh, that's a thing.
That's Japan.
Yeah, that's Japan for you. I mean, it doesn't tell us much besides, oh, Rush is going to be there. Do you think it's going to be an up B move for Mega Man? Give him more vertical air recovery?
That's his up B.
But if he's over a pit... a pit, see what I did there. Uses up B as Rush just falls.
Maybe he turns into a jet.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just like he does like the spring, but perhaps Rush after, using the spring just turns into a jet.
Oh yeah, he kind of like hovers, maybe disappears again.
I thought it was like Sonic Spring.
Yeah, well, those springs fall. I don't want Rush to fall.
Oh God, yeah.
that Mario-styled Yoshi betrayal.
Yeah, exactly.
What if Yoshi was taken out and he was just Mario's up B?
Oh, jeez. I think that'd be pretty terrible. You gotta think that at least one of the costumes for Yoshi would be yarn texture.
No, I think that'd be too much.
Really?
You're asking way too. You're asking way too much.
Oh. Sakurai, my expectations. No.
But he'll do one for Kirby.
Right. Of course, because it's Kirby. It's his.
I think you're
it's
both
his
crazy.
deal.
No, I'm kidding.
No, we got to give credit here
I thought
to.
it'd be funny if he did that for Kirby because all the Kirby characters get so much.
Got to give credit here to iDown over at Smashboards, Smashboards.com. For some of those who have Wii U and Nintendo Network accounts, we can see these about every day on Miiverse. But he gives us the public collection and Smashboards. Of course, they know their stuff for Smash, so go there for all of the latest for forum interaction and more. So I think we should move on. We've got some limited time here today. So our next headline here involves Don Matrick.
That guy.
That guy.
Oh, that guy who really I don't understand how he had his job in the first place. He was not. It's like whenever he hits the stage, I'm just like I look at him and go, "You are slimy."
Yeah.
He just kind of has that look about him, like, no, I'm sorry, you have none of my trust.
Yeah.
And now he's moved to Zynga, and I'm like, that's finally where you belong.
That seems right. Do you think he was fired?
That's a good question.
I think he was darn close.
So for those that don't know, Don Matrick was the head of the Xbox brand over at Microsoft. He was the one who went on stage and started the whole TV, sports TV thing at the initial reveal. I don't think he was on stage as much at E3, but he was the face behind Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and he was in charge of this new direction. He was the one who dropped the news that we talked about a couple weeks ago on our post E3 recap when they did the whole Xbox 180, the reversal of their DRM policies. He was the one who wrote the letter to
Mere
the fans.
days after he said, no, you don't want to do the 24-hour connection, you get an Xbox 360.
We have an offline platform for that. It's called Xbox 360. Yeah, it's a bizarre move, him going to Zynga, which is in their own, struggles as CEO. I mean, Don Matrick was originally, he founded an EA studio that became pretty successful, like one of the first ones to make a Need for Speed game. And so he's had experience in the video game industry. Now it does bring it back to the question though, and you mentioned it, do you think he was let go and this is his, saving face move, that he got another option to kind of save the embarrassment? It's a possibility.
Yeah, I would say for certain that this was exactly what it was. It's just like, you don't leave Microsoft for Zynga.
Yeah.
Unless you are being pushed out.
I posted a comic in the Skype chat. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's him jumping off this boat on fire that says SS Microsoft.
Yeah.
And he's like, "So long, suckers!" And he jumps on this boat that has a Zynga flag on it, and the Kraken's eating it. And he just doesn't see it yet. It's just sinking clearly as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying earlier. Is he leaving the Hindenburg for the Titanic?
Yeah, exactly. That's what made me think of that.
And yeah, he's just, Microsoft will survive.
Of course,
doing
they
a lot
will.
of doing a lot of policies that no one cared for. Now they're doing a bunch of, backtracking, and no one's gonna really care all that much 6 months after release.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, it's just gonna be some price points and brand loyalty that carries, that pretty much carries the Xbox through to the next generation.
Especially with the casual audience, they're not even gonna be aware all this happened.
Oh no, they don't listen to these gaming podcasts and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think it is strange that Steve Ballmer is now who they're reporting to for Xbox, and he has a much higher up position in Microsoft. It might be a tentative solution. Maybe they're trying to find the right guy. Maybe it's that Yusuf guy who was doing all the sports talk, or maybe they get the Xbox Live guy. I'm picturing his face, and I don't know his name. That's the thing. Like they've changed these people who they're identifying with different parts of the Xbox brand, but Don Matrick's been there for a while.
Yep.
And I think they're going through some changes. EA is still going through some changes, trying to find their permanent CEO, as opposed to Frank Gibeau, the temporary solution who originally founded the company. Some people want Peter Moore to step up there. Maybe Peter Moore comes back to Microsoft. He was there for a while. He was the one who rolled up the sleeve for the Grand Theft Auto 4 tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's interesting to see Matrick's email to employees and saying things like, "I've admired Zynga for years. You have redefined entertainment and brought gaming to the mainstream because nobody else did that."
Nope.
It's a very strange move. No, I think you're right. I don't think it means doom and gloom for Microsoft because of this. It does seem suspicious. Like this
I
is
feel like he said too many stupid things, and they're like, "Get out of here."
we can't. You kind of bungled this launch a little bit, and kind of an ultimatum. I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. Well, we'll move on to the next one, and I know Tony in particular, but Super and I to an extent. The changes over at Game Grumps. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, I guess I'll take point on this. So they released a video. I can say for the most part, I love the changes now.
Really?
But that first week was really hard. Because I think the general consensus from fans now is if you haven't noticed, you just don't follow the channel. I don't see why you
tell
would
people what happened if they don't know.
they uploaded a video just called "Ode to John" one day, and John was pretty much came out and said he was leaving, very nondescript, just like I'm leaving. It was fun, but I'm gonna go work on JonTron, which was very weird to a lot of people because Game Grumps only filmed one day a week, and everyone's like, "Well, what's going on? Do you and Aaron still hate each other, or do you guys hate each other now and stuff?"
Still
And
hate each other.
the yes, like they always have since the Guts episode. But pretty much that happened, and then they announced a new host, and then they uploaded an episode with the new host the same day. Like it was all just screwed up how it was handled. It was all
And
just
Steam
Yep.
Train.
and then they had a new show called Steam Train, all in the same day, and fans were just like completely thrown off.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was way too much at once. They handled it freaking terribly, and I mean, for a lot of people, I gotta try to channel my depression to talk about this more coherently. I know Dark was giving me crap because he's like Game Grumps isn't that good, and I'm like, it's not an LP channel, really. It is, but I don't know. It's something about feeling like you're in the room with just these two friends, and they're just
Yeah.
banter is so funny, and that one of those people left, and it just hurt because I mean I was with those guys every day. It felt like, and then it just stopped. And I know that sounds really weird for just like a YouTube channel, and I know it sounds stupid, but it was something that made me happy every single day for a year, and then it was just gone. But
Yep.
but now Dan has taken over the role from Ninja Sex Party,
Hmm.
and he's very good. He beat the crap out of Super Punch Out. He got to Tyson. He couldn't do it though.
Mhm.
And they've started. What people have noticed is I've called it focused grumps because they're actually trying to beat games and stuff. They're currently playing Mega Man 2 in this game called Jackal in tandem. Jackal being
This
co-op. And,
game called Jackal. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite games.
I was completely unaware of it. We need to play that when we go down there to Yoko's house.
Yeah.
Jackal. It's
I
a
have
jackal.
it.
Jackal.
Yes. I knew you'd go there, Yoko.
Of course.
But
Where else
Yes.
is the word jackal ever used?
That's true.
for one of my favorite NES games ever.
Okay.
But yeah, when I saw Jackal, I was super excited about it. I was like, yes, please. And
It's-
I actually, in response to this Game Grumps news, I actually uploaded a video on my channel.
Hmm. You
It's
did
12
recommend
seconds.
it on our sister show, What Are You Playing?
Yep, I did. And I'm just like, finally someone on Game Grumps that knows how to play games.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest here, John and Aaron, they don't even really try sometimes.
Bugs
Like-
Life, they just taught. They did not acknowledge Bugs Life. I think once.
No.
They did, but it
Not
was very
really.
brief. They just talked shit the whole time.
And Danny, he actually knows how to play games, and he actually pays attention. And that's really, really gratifying to see. It's like, because I can stand normal Game Grumps, John and Aaron, fairly well. Unless they're stuck in the same place for the entire video.
Naughty Bear.
That's Naughty Bear, like 1 and 2 episodes of Sonic 06.
I'd say more than that.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I
there have been
remember a
times-
lot of running around in circles.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. There are times in Sonic 06 that they're in the same place for 3 episodes. That's a half an hour that we're watching that they're in the same place,
Uh,
and it gets awful, truly awful. But then like Danny, he's playing these games and he's learning, and then he's actually applying what he's learned. I'm like, look
which
at that.
neither of them did. You know,
Yeah.
not even just John.
Yeah, and neither of them. And I'm watching Danny, and he learns something, and then he starts applying it. I'm like, I can watch this without cringing now. You know,
Yeah.
like they'll lose, but it's like, hey, you know what? It's okay.
And the
Sometimes
banter's
you just
still there.
yeah, there's still good banter. Danny does a really good job. Goes for a little bit of the easier jokes, and sometimes you can kind of predict where he's gonna go. where you couldn't do that with John and Aaron too often, except for uh, the two main Grump standby jokes,
Yeah.
which was John's and Bumble ass bees.
Just ass. Oh God, how I
Yes.
do that so much in my speech because of this show. The
Mm-hmm.
thing that gets me the most about the changes, I call it a lack of John factor because there's no other way to describe it. He's just so off the
Yeah.
wall and crazy. The only thing that I accept that's just kind of gone, and that's just how it is. But the thing that gets me is next time on Game Grumps is never as funny.
Hmm.
Like next time on Game Grumps, it was always funny to me, and now they're
Right.
just kind of like, we jump on more stuff because they don't. I don't blame them. It's hard to think of something stupid every time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I want to throw this out there because I just did this in my insanity afterwards as a way of coping. I downloaded every John and Aaron era episode of Game Grumps.
You sure did. In 720p.
Yeah, it's all in like highest quality. It was only I thought it was gonna be much more. It was only 108 gigs,
Hmm.
but I found this little code mod for VLC, and and I was curious. I'm happy I did this because it's nice for other things. It like totals out a playlist complete time,
Hmm.
and then I threw every episode in just to see how long it would be, and it was 126 hours, 8 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Wow.
That's 5 days, 6 hours, and 8 minutes of John and Aaron just being stupid.
Yep.
So can't say there's a lack of content at least after all that. And,
And so
also,
Tony did nothing for 5 days.
Oh, dude, it's so yeah, that was rough, but it's so handy because I got playlists for every game. I'm working on a playlist of the order they all came out in, and I can just throw them on VLC on another screen and just it's nice.
I think the playlist for the games would be more handy. Yeah, just game by game.
Yeah, that's I got those too.
Because they took breaks in between some of them. No, I think the biggest thing was how it was handled. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
they had Steam Train, which not as good with Danny and Rubber Ross.
It's gotten better.
Yeah.
I can say I know you two, and specifically like a few days ago, were just kind of like, Steam Train. But I watched episode like 6 of Casual Crashers, just like
That's,
on a whim.
Yeah.
What?
I was just like, I've been watching the Castle Crashers one, but their other ones are truly awful.
Yeah, Hotline Miami was the first one they uploaded. It was terrible, and I think they knew that, so they just did Castle Crashers for a while.
Yeah, and Castle
Weird.
Crashers is generally fairly good, but I don't know what's up with like the Danny Ross mechanic. Like they're both kind of good, but I don't feel like they go good together.
Hmm.
And for some reason, like Danny is not playing well. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. He's just like on Game Grumps, you see him doing well. On Steam Train, he isn't doing anything like he was in Game Grumps. He's not
Yeah.
learning. He's not applying what he's learned. He's just like, how do I do a thing?
Though Steam Train does have a catchier intro, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Um,
fixed the Game Grumps one. Like it wasn't like Danny harmonized it and stuff better
Yeah.
because it was bad. That first week, everyone was like, "That's bad." Initially, everyone was like, "He shouldn't be not so grump."
He still shouldn't be. I'm still saying that. He should not
Yeah,
so grump.
Yeah.
It should be John's face. And then now that you have Danny, he should be kind of grump
or
so that he
something.
can have his own merchandise that isn't taking over John's.
right. No, that's a good point.
So beyond all this, though, there's a lot of speculation on why this happened.
Right.
And Kind King told me that it's kind of out there. I don't feel bad talking about it a little bit. John wanted it to be a secret, but he kind of just moved to New York with his girlfriend, as far as any of us can tell. He posted pictures of himself, or he just posted a picture in Harlem on Twitter. I know way too much about this, guys. I'm so sorry if I sound creepy.
It is.
But-
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Like I said, every day this consumed me a little bit. I'd watch at least 20 minutes of it, and I watched a lot of it after work before I went to bed, just for laughs. But so there's wild speculation about somebody on Facebook came out that did the merchandising for them and said that he was going to move in with his girlfriend. But he's like, "Law, I didn't move to Harlem," like on Twitter. And last night, actually, very recently, their him and PPG's neutral friend Dean had them stream a little bit with him last night, drunk as hell, and he was clearly with his girlfriend. But he's like, "No, I didn't move to Harlem," and there's a funny as hell moment. There's a 2 minute video of the only important parts because most of it is Dean screaming and driving everyone nuts. He has a very amusing breakdown, but he's annoying as all hell, so that wasn't fun. But John's like, "Yeah, I need to go. It's 2 a.m." And PBG just goes, "Yeah, I forgot you were in New York." And John just goes, "Yeah, God damn it, Austin." So I think he was trying to keep it a secret. I think for his girlfriend's protection. And there were some people in the chat calling her Yoko Ono.
Wow.
But you guys don't fucking do that. That's not cool. I mean, he made that decision. He wants to be happy. That's fine. But yeah,
Well,
he said he moved there for business practices later, but he was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
In the subreddit thread to the stream, they every time he said something that they quoted, they just said official drunk quotations John statement.
I think it's okay that he did that. I don't know if their hand was forced that they had to handle it this way, but to put a summation on it, the way it was handled was not ideal at all.
Mm-hmm.
To do everything at once, I think Steam Train was probably their millionth subscriber bonus. Like, here's more content.
Yeah, and it would have been fine along with it.
Right,
like,
and then
Yeah.
this decision happened, and they're like, "Oh well, who should we fill? Danny was going to be part of Steam Train, but let's make him John's replacement." I think that's all fine, but if this decision was made like it's the last week with John, this is going to happen, so John farewell episodes, and we'll have more because apparently they did record all of Sonic 06, and they just have to release all the episodes. Now that's going to be really
Barry
weird.
came out and said everything that's uploaded is all they have.
Oh wow!
So they did not finish it.
Interesting.
They were on the last boss of the Silver campaign.
Damn. Well, still to that point.
Yes, Grumps.
Do it.
Exactly. Guess Grumps. Yeah.
Ideally, they should have had John, Aaron, and Dan like play at a game of Mario Party or something.
Right. Like.
Right.
Give it like a small farewell tour. I think that would have kind of eased the furor a little bit.
It just all happened.
Everything at once. Yeah.
I heard it was a very quick decision too. Like
clearly, yes.
Yeah, I think it all happened at once. And honestly, because Dan and Aaron dynamic's great. It's refreshing, because they're really like focused on beating games, and it's really fun to have that feeling again. Because they were just kind of doing 3 episodes of a game and quitting. But the thing I want to know more than anything is everyone cool with each other? Because that friendship, like I said, it was so important to a lot of us. I feel like. So we just want to see a tweet of Ego Raptor and JonTron just like, "You're beautiful, I love you," or something.
Yeah. Something
to that effect would be nice. I hope they play it off though, and they like meet at a con at like a panel and like pretend to get in a fight or something.
Mm-hmm.
To mess with people more.
I think the people who talk about like, now I'm going to unsubscribe because that means something. When people do those comments, like, I'm sorry, that's because your subscription means so much, but.
Now, let's be honest here. The subscriptions kind of do mean a whole lot because, if a whole lot of one person's leave, that's a bigger number, obviously. And
it's not the same as what I was saying, but yes, sure.
I know it's just one of those things. Like, someone is voicing their opinions because they're angry enough. I think it's kind of stupid that they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I kind of see why they're doing it. It's like, hey, we're not happy with you.
You're getting YouTube content for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I really, really want to go with you on that one, but at the same time, it's like, you aren't. It's like you're popular because we're giving you our views.
Sure.
That's actually my full argument. It's like you're popular because we're giving you our views. When I stop giving you the views, if I and others do so, then you will not be popular and you will lose your merchandising. Now, Game Grumps is admittedly bigger than that to really worry about, but this is still the internet, and we've seen big things suddenly fail all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
before. Now, luckily, there's still Aaron. If this was like Game Grumps and then John left, so Aaron stopped and it became Steam Train, you would have saw mass exodus.
Yeah.
So how has
like-
PewDiePie not lost subscribers with some of the things he said? Anyway,
Because he comes up every so often, and it's there for maybe 3 days, and if you were away from the internet during that time, you probably didn't even catch it.
3 days is like 2 years on the internet, Yoko.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of is.
Sometimes,
like, PewDiePie,
yeah.
it's like, here's the thing, I don't follow PewDiePie, but he did show up on my radar for 3 days because of the comments he made during Walking Dead.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if those are still up. But this is what people kind of liked him for some goddamn reason.
Because
And
people are awful.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. It's I don't want to get too real on here, but it's kind of like that whole Paula Dean thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what? This is almost the whole thing with PewDiePie. That is almost completely the Paula Dean thing.
And yet he is okay and she is not.
Yep.
Well, they're both not okay, but
They're
Yes,
both
I
not
don't
okay,
follow.
but the public reaction is because of mass media TV versus niche internet
exactly.
culture. But then again, people are
YouTube
dumb.
can't fire him.
People are dumb, just like the commenters. I saw some post because 4th of July passed, American Independence Day. There was just a collection of tweets or Facebook posts that said, "Whoa, happy 2013th birthday, America! Can you believe America's 2013 years old?"
Yep.
Oh man,
Yes.
the dumb
It's actually
people, they everywheres.
Yeah.
It's actually older, but America as a nation. Well, no.
No. Let's get to the hilarity of the week. It's kind of sad, in a way, and pathetic that the American judicial system acts in this way. For those that did not hear the story, it kind of goes a little something like this. A 19-year-old by the name of Justin Carter is playing a game of League of Legends. So things apparently get heated. He gets taunted on Facebook, saying something like, "Oh, you're insane," or something like that. And I'm going to pull the exact quote here if I can. So there's kind of some banter on Facebook after the fact because of a League of Legends match. And apparently he was, targeted for, being insane or something like that. You're crazy. And so on Facebook,
Why the hell did you
this
pick
kid-
this headline?
this kid says, "Oh yeah, I'm real messed up in the head. I'm going to go shoot up a school full of kids and eat their still beating hearts." And then followed by an LOL and JK. A mother in Canada oversees this conversation on Facebook. I think she was in Canada. Basically, a
Yeah,
mother.
she was in Canada.
Yeah, so she oversees this conversation, does some research on where he lives, finds that there's a school nearby, calls the police, and reports him. And now he's facing 7 to 8 years in jail. He is already in jail because of, granted in very poor taste, but a sarcastic Facebook comment.
Do you think the lawyer was like, but he said JK?
If you see here, there is an OL. Laughing out loud. Would my client really laugh while shooting up a school?
And in that internet speak, it means
Yeah,
it's a
right.
joke. The father was saying he doesn't know much about, current events and all that stuff because of everything that happened with Newtown and all that stuff. Obviously, you should think more before you make these kind of comments. They're terribly in
yeah.
poor taste.
Yeah, it's in poor taste. And it's like, does nobody understand sarcasm anymore? I mean, there's
Or
even a JK lol.
context. Or context.
Yeah.
It was in
Anything like
response
that.
to a personal attack. And he was responding to, oh yeah, that's how crazy I am, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, just reading the comments beforehand should be able to go, what the hell's going on here? If I was a policeman, I'd look at it and go, yeah, and?
He is charged with making terrorist threats. Awaiting trial, his bail is set at $500,000 US.
Jesus.
Can face up to 10 years in prison. I mean, the article is saying that his attorney has never seen anything like it.
I like that we went to this after we were talking about how internet speak doesn't have that much repercussions.
Right?
Well, that's someone from the outside looking at internet speak.
Yeah.
I mean, they are definitely, different circumstances. You had PewDiePie who makes a video versus Facebook. The kid should have learned better, all right? He should have known better. Put him, to 30 days of community service. Look at his past criminal record. If he doesn't have any violent crimes, maybe he's not going to really shoot up a school. If he doesn't have any medical history of mental illness or issues there, maybe he's not going to really shoot up a school full of kids.
This sounds like a really bad, Seinfeld plot.
It sounds like a bad anything plot.
I know, but this is sitcom level logic here. I can totally see George Costanza going, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot up a school," and then this mother walking down the street, walking her stroller, going, oh, "I can't believe you said that, officer." That's just I could see that in an episode of Seinfeld or Louis.
And Louis, onlooker on them internets.
Yes, it's just kind of and that's what I'd see. It's just this is what this is, and this is happening in real life. How did we get this stupid?
There's got to be a scene somewhere in Seinfeld where he's George is in jail and he's talking to Jerry through the phone. Please tell me there is.
There's a scene where he's in jail, but so is everyone else.
Oh. So they need to come back and just do that scene in any context because that sounds really funny. I'm in jail, Jerry. I don't know.
Apparently he's, getting beat up in jail, concussions, black eyes, moved 4 times for his own protection, put in solitary. He's depressed.
Oh, really?
He made a poor taste joke on the internet, and the American judicial system has thrown him in jail because of it. Because think of the children.
Good old Simpsons.
Yep, and moral panics and all that stuff. Sarcasm, context. They're not matching here in this story, and it all goes back to video games. I'm kind of amazed that, pundits haven't done the whole, did he do this because of them video games? In this League of Legends, you attack people, so it must be violence and brr.
Yes, those things.
Yes.
You had to bum me out after I just got over the Game Grumps thing.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, the internet's a pretty depressing place.
Not where I go. I go to the happy sites.
Is that what we're calling them?
Well, the other option. Happy
Well played,
sites,
Super.
indeed. The other alternative for this would have been a news story, I think in California that they did, and Little Karibo kind of came up in it because of his vagina monologues.
Oh yeah.
But in Little Big Planet 2, some, mature content slipped through the content moderators there, and this game that's rated E for everyone has mature content, and it took to the very end. They're talking about is this what child sex predators are using now? And then it ended with it actually says on the box that online content is not rated, and that they do moderate the content. It was a dumb story there, but it's gonna be interesting to see where this one goes. I hope we see a follow-up that's positive soon.
I'd like to see the kid sue the U.S. judicial system and win. That's how I want this to end, because it's just there's no reason for it. Yeah, it's a bad taste joke on Facebook, but you know what? Let me load up my Facebook and tell you how many things are much worse than what this kid just said.
Pretty much.
Although suddenly I should start friending people I don't like on Facebook if I can send them to jail. Because this is what the story is telling me.
Yeah.
I can be petty and get my way by whining and saying, think of the children.
Exactly. We got our story pool. We got a couple stories here that, didn't break the headlines here. Ouya launched. Remember that?
Huh.
Ouya? Ouya.
Isn't it bad?
Yeah.
It is not receiving favorable reviews.
Yeah, it's bad.
It launched
Which is
on June
unfortunate.
26th. The games for it are not that good right now. Granted, they are free to play and all that. The biggest selling point for them right now is emulators,
Oh, very good.
which that can always go well for the longevity of a system. Content creators won't crack down on that at all, especially when the emulators are generally free, and then you have to pay 99 cents for the emulator to kind of lock in the license so that you'll be able to, save games.
Mm-hmm.
So they aren't totally free. Just some general disappointment in Ouya, and that's unfortunate because we have...
Too much money was sent at you, Ouya, for this kind of disappointment.
I
Yeah,
agree.
no.
Yeah.
People are calling it the first Kickstart failure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate because, the Buzzsaw, who's on our podcast team, he has aspirations to make 02D for Ouya, which is his
Oh God, he said that
Mugen-styled...
too.
He did say
Yeah.
that. His Mugen-styled Smash game.
Oops.
I mean, he does have an
My
Ouya.
180 on that.
He does have an Ouya. We'll have to ask him next time he's available to be on the show. How's that Ouya treating you, Buzz? So, yeah, I guess some people haven't even received their systems. This was, back within the first couple days or so. I'm sure they have now. $99.99 is not a terrible price. It could be a lot more expensive. It could be like that Project Shield handheld from NVIDIA that the day before it was supposed to release at $349.99, they dropped it to, I think they dropped it $100, but then pushed it back like a month or something. That thing's gonna fail really hard too. Anyway, that's unfortunate that Ouya has really struggled coming out of the gate, and I think for the hope that we had when we talked about it, when it was still in its Kickstarter phase and what it was trying to do and the open console for the industry, it had all that potential. It's kind of sad to see it not live up to that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But there is time. I mean, we could say the same thing for Wii U. Wii U struggled with the software, but it's going to be getting that soon. Hopefully the sales will improve. Time will tell. But this has been one of the greater stumbling out of the blocks moments for a video game console.
I would
in
love
recent
someone
memory.
to break into the big three.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hasn't happened in a long time.
I don't know, Steam and PC kind of thing, but that's always been a thing.
Yeah.
It's just like in a console way. I mean, PC is always kind of its separate thing,
Yeah.
a better thing. People would argue.
Mm-hmm. But
Well, then we have the other story here that we had talked about a couple episodes ago regarding Nintendo.
more 180s.
Yeah, more 180s. Nintendo and their Let's Play issues where they were blocking the monetization of videos on YouTube that had Nintendo content, such as Let's Plays. And what PBG had to, Peanut Butter Gamer had to stop a top 10 because he had Nintendo content in there, and these creators want to make their money if they're able to. But Nintendo may be turning it around. The person who first reported this issue, suddenly got his revenue for that time that it was blocked, paid in full to him.
Nice.
So
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm actually pretty excited that this might be turning back around. I don't know, it's still a thing that's out there. So I guess if a certain channel is out there for like all Nintendo content all the time, then Nintendo might, put the cock block down.
Right.
But from what I can understand, I think stuff like Peanut Butter Gamer might be safe in the future.
Yeah.
I want that PBG Mario top 10. I want it. So I'm happy.
Is
to
that
hear
what it
this.
is?
Yeah, it was a Mario
Oh,
top 10 he was working on.
That's very cool. I mean,
Also maybe I noticed on Grumps they didn't play Nintendo for a while, and
Yeah.
then they did Punch Out, so maybe they're aware of this too.
Hmm. Yeah. That's a very good point. You know, Reggie Fils-Aimé, the president of Nintendo of America, said, you know, fans need to understand that we see the issue, we understand the issue, but right now, all we've done is take the first step to protect our IP.
Yeah.
Now, it makes sense. Like, it could become a bigger issue in the future, especially if people, you know, put up more videos that are just the game, no commentary, and, you know, oh, now I don't have to buy the game, so you lose money that way. It might become an issue there, but when
Last
people
of
are...
Us.
yeah, right.
Right now for me.
Yeah. When people are doing the commentary, though, and they're doing editing and things like this, and are taking little clips to support their bigger point, like, I don't know, something called fair use, that should not be as big of an issue. So
Right.
we hope the Nintendo's kind of cleared it up a little bit about this.
Yeah, I'm sure they saw the bad reception. They're not that stupid. They're
Yeah.
stupid sometimes, but generally, I think they're pretty smart.
We got games that are out recently, and it's been about a month or so. So let's, you know, run through some of these and, you know, make a couple comments if they
I hate
apply.
when this happens, but I don't know half of these.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the summer doldrums of games, unfortunately.
No.
You have Fuse, which was originally called Overstrike. This is the Insomniac game that EA published. This is kind of disappointing. I mean, if you remember that first
Insomniac
Overstrike
game?
Yeah. If you remember that first Overstrike trailer from a couple E3s ago, that looked really cool. You know, kind of Borderlands 4-player co-op shooter feel. You know, stylish characters. And then it kind of like got brown and dulled out. They changed
Yeah.
the name.
I just looked at the box. It looks generic as
Yeah,
hell.
it became really generic, and so it really didn't live up to those expectations. Remember Me is another one that had a really cool concept to it. That game came
Yeah.
out. That might be up there so far this year for most disappointing game.
Oh, that's too bad.
I was really, I was really looking forward to it, and I was, you know,
That was-
considering pre-ordering
so
and
that
all
was-
that back in the day. Yeah.
That was the Capcom game where you could change people's memories, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. That one looked interesting. I wasn't going to enjoy the game, but the fact that I hear it's not enjoyable for anyone.
Yeah, the
It's kinda
the
sad.
combat's not that good. They, you know, kind of fail at certain autosave things. Like, I think a complaint was you have these combos that you can change on the fly and all that, but they don't autosave. So like when you die and, you know, go back to a point before you made those changes, you have to do them all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, like, basic game design things like these that should become standard. It was just a very disappointing game, apparently. I still have it on my GameFly list. If I get it, I might try to slog through it, but that is so
I'm
far
not
looking
seeing
like
horrible Metacritic reviews,
Hmm.
but it's like very mediocre. But they won't make Mega Man because that's not going to make any money.
exactly.
Let's just pour this budget into something else.
State of Decay is an Xbox Live title with zombies. Them zombies. It was apparently pretty
So is
good.
it- Yeah, I heard it was very, very good.
I
haven't played it
I wonder
myself,
if this was this the one that was kind of a mix of like Mirror's Edge and, you know,
Oh, I don't
shooters and
know.
all that. No,
No, I don't
that's
think
Dying Light.
This,
That's
this,
Dying.
this is like single player. What was it? DayZ.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm thinking of Dying Light, the
Right.
one from the makers of Dead Island for next gen. Animal Crossing New Leaf, great game. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've stopped.
I don't
But
think
what-
it's going to be one that's like, and you know, I know the SMYN community is really big into it, but I'm not seeing it as like a game of the year contender. But it is a very good game that, you know, you can
It's neat.
you know, eat up, you know, bits and chunks of your time with, because it's a very long experience that way. But I think 3DS has other contenders this year in that regard.
I'm sad. I'm just kind of like, well, I get it, and then I stopped.
Yeah.
I bought that new.
I keep putting in, you know, like 20 minutes into it a day. I mean, it's perfect little bite-sized things.
Yeah.
The Last of Us, I've ranted and raved about it. I really enjoyed the game. Naughty Dog continues to do exceptional work. At the very least, try to watch it. If you're like you're never gonna own a PS3 or any of that kind of stuff, this is the game that people are going to be talking about at the end of the year. Hopefully in our community, but you got to think at least, other publications as well for a Game of the Year contender.
I just see more of it before it truly impresses me.
Yeah. New Super Luigi U. Anyone play that?
I
Nope.
haven't
What,
played
dude?
it. Hey, you could play it this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You hate playing like the Luigi physics Luigi, don't you?
Yeah, but if it's designed around it, I guess I can get used to it.
Yeah.
That's
you
more
can
of the
also
problem. It's like Mario design levels, but you slip. It's kind of bad, but if it's designed around the higher jumping and whatnot,
Yeah.
whatever.
Company of Heroes 2, yeah. The follow-up to the real-time strategy game that was apparently very well received. This one's apparently okay, but
Yeah.
it doesn't live up to that really high standard.
Yeah. And this Project X Zone, that game doesn't make a whole lot of strategic sense, but it's a thing that's there.
I mean, Capcom, Namco, and Sega crossover. It's got some
Should've-
fan service, I'm sure.
Yeah, it has tons of fan service from what I
I
understand.
haven't
I'm just
heard
kinda
much
like-
about it.
I haven't heard one thing about Sonic, and I'm just like, seriously? Seriously? No Sonic? You have Mega Man X? Put them in the same game. Or do we have to wait for Smash 4?
Mm-hmm.
Or just read the comic books.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
I hear those are neat.
Yep.
So Deadpool also came out. Remember the trailer that kind of got
Yeah.
our attentions with
I
Nolan
hear
North
it's
being
quite
Nolan North?
mediocre.
Yep. Pretty much.
I'll probably rent it, play it for a couple hours, beat it, and then just throw it away.
Another game I think is worth a rent at the very least is Game & Wario. I mean, new games for Wii U, it's always a welcome sign. Using those WarioWare mini games designed around the gamepad for that kind of asynchronous play that they're talking about. It's a cool concept.
That like jumping ninja game looked really fun.
Yeah.
In the Nintendo Direct they had.
Yeah. And then of course Dive Kick.
What did this come out on?
Things.
Good question. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
If Cyberlink was here, he would not only do a much stronger dive kick, but he'd be
Well,
able
he
to
has
answer
more
that
of a-
question for you.
You might as well when he says dive. That's what I'm like, dive.
I thought you were gonna say dive kick.
Dive.
Yeah. Super. I know you're running out of time, so we'll let you get to your soapbox first.
So
How
Mega
that
Man 2.
degenerated to a noise.
Yes.
Go on.
It was a John noise.
In memory of John. But no, Mega Man 2, huh? I saw it on 3DS, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll pick it up. And I sat down and started playing it, and I beat it, alright? And I beat it on difficult, which is basically Japanese normal. Japanese didn't have normal and difficult. It just had what became the American difficult. So I'm just like, I'll just do this Japanese way. I cannot figure out why this is the best game in the series as far as the NES is concerned. Like, I always hear about Mega Man 2 being the best Mega Man for
I
the
think
NES.
it's probably the more well-known one, but from what
It's
I can hear, there's a
definitely more-
big fan debate between 2 and 3, and I hear 2 has a lot of... I've seen them both, and I can see why you would think that, because there's a lot of BS moments in 2 that 3
Yes.
does not have.
Yeah,
And 3 is very well designed on top of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be downloading 3 here soon. But I was very surprised and just I went through Mega Man 2 in the past. I went through all of those. This is more of a refresher, and I was surprised at how little I remembered, and how in this time, I actually went through using the metal blades instead of the Buster.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's another thing to say about it, the unbalanced weapon system.
Yeah, that was something crazy. But I'm gonna come out and say it. Stage 4 in Wily's Castle is the worst designed thing I've ever seen.
Is it the one with the dripping, like, hurdy
No,
things?
no. That's stage 5 or stage 6. Or
That one
whatever.
sucks, too.
Well, that's what that one, like, you get hit 3 times, you die or something like that. But it's like really slow, and it's like it's not random, so you just have to walk through it.
Yeah.
No, stage 4 is like things over spike pits, easy puzzles, but they're the waiting puzzles. You just have to stand there and wait and wait and wait. Okay, jump now. Okay, good. Okay, now wait and wait. So it takes about 6 minutes to get through it. through half of it. And then you get to a long hallway with giant mechs and one of the slowest enemies to fight in the game, which is the Sniper Joe. And then you have to go through a really small hallway with a Sniper Joe in it that you literally cannot kill the Sniper Joe before he hits you. If anyone says different, fine, there must be a special weapon that you have to use against him. Probably like Heatman's fully charged, whatever. But
Shoot
yeah.
rush at him.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. There's no rush in this game.
I thought there was.
Not
No.
in 2, no.
Not in 2. The only time you ever see rush is when you're watching Dwayne and Brando.
Yeah.
For some reason, they use the mod, and they make rush appear as a jet instead.
I could have sworn I saw a buddy like fly over some of those stupid block puzzles with rush.
That's item 2, not rush. It
Oh.
became rush later on.
That's very much better marketable.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just kind of really pissed off at this design. And then you get to the boss room, which is 5 little like energy things that just shoot things at you that are impossible to dodge. Like I dodged them like twice, and that was basically out of luck. But you have to go through this with crash bombs. If you waste one crash bomb, you lose.
Yeah, that was another thing I remember that was just kind of. There is some BS design in there.
Yeah, and I don't know why it was like that. Like, crash bombs in themselves aren't very useful. I don't use them very often. The only time I use them is A, against Quickman, and B, against this boss. Or on the off chance that I'm going through Heatman stage after Crashman. I'll use them against some of the walls. But outside of that, don't really use them.
Yeah, I think 3 is much better designed and balanced.
Yeah. Metal Blade, a lot of fun to use. I kind of wish it was always like this, you know, kind of how Bass plays.
I like the
But-
noise.
Or Bass.
Bass, yes.
I always called him Bass. I'm sorry, it's English.
He's a fish and he's singing bass.
Yes, right. He's mounted on my wall. Whenever I walk by him, his little robot head starts singing at me.
I would buy the hell out of that.
I would too. But no, Mega Man 2, not the best in the series. Heck, I had more fun with 7.
Yeah,
Actually, I had more
I've
fun
always
with
always kind of agreed with that sentiment, but never really had a reason to bring it up.
I like 8 too. I'm gonna have to play that one again sometime. I know a lot of people kind of go into conniptions whenever you go jump, jump, slide, slide, die,
Yeah.
die.
That part was difficult.
Yeah, but like
You must
it's
recover all the
difficult.
energy, Mega Man.
Oh, those cutscenes.
Dr. Wily. I think the freaking janitor did freaking Dr. Light sometimes. But yeah, that's my soapbox.
Dr.
Mega Man 2.
Wally.
Mega Man 2, completely overrated.
Tony, what about you?
Just really quickly, OC Remix did an album for Final Fantasy VI, and we were kind of talking about how we think OC remixes are kind of just most of the times, and that
I know a lot of people won't agree with that, but
I know that, but like Dancing Mad's on there, and like Black Mages and Distant Worlds both did better covers of that, and
For sure.
a lot of songs are just mad, and some songs aren't even like close to what they were remixing. But the opera, dear God, go listen to that on YouTube. FF66 opera OC remix. Look that up. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, it is amazing. It is so cool. It's one of the coolest songs I've ever heard. Even
it's called The Impresario. It's fantastic.
The worst thing I've seen about OC Remix is that their old albums, which are actually pretty good, actually had a director
yeah.
who kind of had a theme to go throughout these songs. Now they're just collections of different people doing songs, and they put them together in an album and send it out.
Yeah, this
So
one they had to
they don't
do.
jello as well.
This one they had to do through Kickstarter because they had to get the funds from Square Enix to be able to use these melodies
Really.
legally. Yeah, so the FF6 album was run through a Kickstarter.
It was worth it for that damn opera.
I was gonna say it was.
I got a
splendid.
7-hour drive ahead of me, and I can guarantee you that at least 45 minutes will be playing that song.
Yep,
Maybe not on repeat, but I'll probably go back to it a lot.
definitely.
It's 8 minutes, and it doesn't even feel like 8 minutes.
Nice.
That's what I noticed.
Like, oh, it's over already again.
Yeah. Back.
Yoko?
I'm not really going to talk about games and all that, but soapboxes are media related, so I'm going to talk about popular music, specifically in bars and / clubs. I had a weird day yesterday where I'm still trying to get over it and get my sleep schedule back to normal. It was like sleeping from 8:30 to 11, and then up from then until 2:30 a.m. watching Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 3. Good stuff. Sleep from 2:30 to 6:30, and then I napped... Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2:30 to 6:30 a.m. Then I napped from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So then I was able to go out with friends for a birthday celebration. We were doing a Detroit bar crawl. Kind of cool to go to downtown Detroit. You get those Youmacon feels when you see, some of the different buildings and whatnot. Otherwise, we were up in the Midtown area, which is, northern area of the river. We're actually right across from the Buffalo Wild Wings. That's right down there in Detroit. So that was kind of cool because we'll have to hit up some B-dubs when you guys get here. So the bar scene, like, I was expecting something different. And now that I'm 25, it's like I should be like past this, going to bars and stuff like that. But coworker was turning 23, and so Tony, then you're saying you just started like, I don't know if you've been to these kinds. The ones we went to were like the small little places that have DJs pumping in music, and it's so damn loud.
Yep.
You should say that because I had the exact same experience last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this was multiple locations, and across the different places we heard that Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines song like 3 times. I'm like, okay, this music video is weird, and now I'm sick of the song.
I don't know that song, so.
Yeah, that might be for the best. But then they'd play even things like In the Club by 50 Cent and Low with Lil Jon. And it's like, what are we, back in high school? Middle school? Maybe?
I don't know, man. The ones I've gone to are more like thumping crazy lights.
Yeah, and
just fun regardless. And also there's a drunk point where none of the music matters anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if I were to go to bars, I'd rather have it be like a chill place, maybe have like a live band. I'm down even with, karaoke bars. Like, I think that would be fun. But the places that kind of like encourage like the dance floors and they're trying to be clubs, but with like a bar twist to it, I'm getting too old for that shit.
That's how you pick up the ladies, though.
Yeah, I like to actually have conversations
I do
with
too.
girls. Not like,
tried and-
hey, what do you do?
Oh, I know yeah.
What? I'm gonna lean into you.
That's
What?
not where you go to pick up a girl based on conversational skills. You need to go to a chill bar for that, yeah.
Yeah, you need to be a complete dog to be able to pick up girls in that setting. Just like, hey, grab one and start dancing. Screw it.
That's what happens, though, and hopefully you're both drunk enough to not realize that,
And hopefully you're both clean as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
Wear a condom, kids.
Wear the
There's only
glove.
one lesson we can lend you.
From Show Me Your News. Wear the glove before you love.
And on that bumps.
Let's get to a quick thought here. We do have our thought with the 6th anniversary of Show Me Your News, technically tomorrow, but next weekend we're going to be celebrating it. Please do help us, kind of come up with what we should be doing. Try to make our all-day stream day, something that's very fan-centric, and we want to, kind of do what you want to see us do.
Also, note I might miss those first 2 hours because I might be passed out still.
Yeah.
Whatever, we'll shift the time. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
No, do something else. I'll just like wake up in the middle and eat cereal or something.
Okay.
Like during.
I mean, it's possible. Maybe we haven't talked it all out, but it's possible that like on Friday, like that's gonna be our day where we've decided like we want to play, a Super Mario game together. Like Nintendo I guess wants us to do, but has never allowed us to do. So
Yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers U might be on the docket for an extended period of time. That might be on Friday. So if we're playing that, we might stream that. But it's looking like Saturday is going to be our big all day stream day. So help us out on the front page. We've got a thread kind of taking your ideas, and we're going to try to, kind of create something out of that. Anything else that you guys would like to do while you're up here? Because
I know we've talked about it briefly. I'm totally want to do Sonic Adventure 2 Battle
Yeah.
multiplayer because I've never gotten to do that, and someone did suggest it, and we did I at least confirmed it because I put a picture for it in the YouTube video I used to make. We're totally gonna do Battle Revolution, but we got to get a copy of it.
yeah.
All right. I don't know. I see a lot of people talking about Project M, but that's up to you guys.
We can try it, but it's going to be a slaughter fest with you here.
Project M 2v1.
I know we'll probably do. I know it's normal Brawl, but we'll open up my my Wi-Fi and Brawl for a couple hours to have people
they
do
have a
those, because
project-
those are always the fun ones.
Yeah. They do have Project M Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, but not everyone has Project M, and some of the models we have, for the texture hacks and all that, are definitely ones that desync it. So
Well, yeah. I mean, I have this. I have two SDs now, and I keep one as a Wi-Fi safe with vanilla everything.
okay, well, no, we'll definitely keep that in consideration. We'll either do normal Brawl or Project M Wi-Fi and do that for a couple hours. Rotate between players, and we really want to open it up to the fans, and
Yep.
it's because of you that we've continued for 6 years. 6 years, wow. So you want to games that you want to
Something
see,
to say.
random activities that you want us to do. I know Sunday
Sunday.
is not only going to be a big day because Tony wants us to see this big wrestling pay-per-view.
Money in the Bank. I do a
Guys,
podcast
it's
on that next
Evo. Freaking
Evo too.
Evo.
Evo's
Yep.
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Like, let's hope that we can see Melee Grand Finals and Tony's Wrestling. It's going to be a fun weekend. Can't wait for you guys to get up here on Thursday. But, we'll talk about more of that plans offline.
Mario Party is definitely happening for an hour. I just don't know which one.
I've never played Mario Party. You guys got to bring one.
Are you serious?
serious?
I've never played any Mario Party.
I did the crappy Wii Party board game, which is supposed to be a rip-off of it, but it's not the same.
Oh god, this is gonna be a fun. That'll be a fun hour.
Exactly.
I say Mario Party 3.
That one's the hardest one to access. Do you have it?
I have someone who can lend it to me.
I don't
and
have an
see him a
N64.
lot,
You
so-
got to keep in mind what we have. So feel free to recommend games, but we got to,
I
be
have
able
an
to access
N64.
it.
It's right here.
Okay.
Do you have a SNES?
I don't.
Yes.
Oh.
I have SNES emulators.
I have a
I-
SNES.
But I got the Mario All Stars pack with Mario World on it. I
I've
want
got
to bring it.
I've got the Wii version of that game.
All right, guys.
But
I
it doesn't have the different Luigi sprites.
Okay.
He has to go.
All right. So yes, on that bombshell, it is time to end. With that, I'm Yoko.
I'm super.
I'm Tony.
We're out. Have a good one.